Welcome to this channel. All of you, good morning. I hope you are doing well in this pandemic situation. So, to do better, we are doing this video lectures, series of video lectures to communicate with you with the subject. Today, in this video lecture, I am going to give you the details and some problem solutions regarding the Compton effect. As we studied, we discussed earlier in the previous video. I will give you in the description box about this Compton effect also. So you can watch the Compton effect video thoroughly. Then watch this video, complete knowledge of the Compton effect, and to get thorough information and thorough uh, understanding on each and every term related to Compton effect. So let's start our class. So as we studied in the Compton effect, that Compton effect has given much information regarding when the X-rays of high frequency is strike on any substance which has lesser number of atoms, and after striking these X-rays, what happens from that atoms, the electron will be come freely, and this striking X-ray will scattered from the substance. So you will get two types of wavelengths. One is which is after scattering, the wavelengths are two. One is the same wavelength as incidence light, and another one is lesser wavelength comparing to the incident light. Okay, so the change in wavelength is called as Compton shift, and this phenomena is called the Compton effect. So the scattered radiation has lower frequency, that means it has higher wavelength. So there are two different modified radiation and unmodified radiation. With the help of the concept, we established an equation that delta lambda equal to h by m naught c, which is lambda dash minus lambda equal to h by m naught c into 1 minus cos theta. Actually, in that Compton effect, due to lesser time availability, we have finished at this equation. Now the value 1 minus cos theta can be written in terms of sin square theta by 2, like this one, 2h by m naught c sin square theta by 2. That means 1 minus cos theta is equal to 2 sin square theta by 2. Okay, as we know, cos theta equal to 1 minus sin square theta by 2. With the help of that, we studied that cos theta, in place of 1 minus cos theta, we write the 2 sin square theta by 2. And this is one of the different case of this delta lambda, and depending upon the availability of the theta value or different values, we use these two equations wherever necessary. ఎక్కడ అవసరమైతే అక్కడ ఏది అవసరమైతే అది ఈక్వేషన్ ని మనం వాడుకోవచ్చు. ఇన్ దిస్ సమ్ స్పెషల్ కేసెస్ ఆర్ దేర్. One is when theta equal to 0. When theta equal to 0. Three conditions are there. When theta equal to 0 means there is no deviation. Here X-rays are coming and striking on the substance which has lesser number of atoms, and it is scattered. The photon is scattered with the higher wavelength comparing to the initial wavelength, and some of without scattering goes and it is recoil electron, so it is making some angle theta. So నీ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఏంటి ఇక్కడ నువ్వు అర్థం చేసుకోవాల్సింది, theta లేదంటుండు, theta equal to 0. Whenever theta equal to 0, there is no modified radiation. Modified radiation అంటే నీకు higher wavelength కావాలి. Theta equals 0 అయినప్పుడు there is no modified radiation, so that there is no Compton shift. So delta lambda equal to 0 for this radiation. So there is no scattering along the direction of incidence. So there is no scattering for that theta equal to 0. And the second one is when theta equal to 90 degrees, that is pi by 2. So when you substitute this theta equal to 90 in this equation, what you get? Cos 90 is 0. So it will be delta lambda equal to h by m naught c. So its value, these are the constant values. H equal to 6.625 into 10 power minus 34, and m naught is mass, rest mass, that is 9.1 into 10 power minus 31, and c is 3 into 10 power 8. So when you substitute those values, you will get 0.002426 angstrom. Sorry, 0.02426 angstroms. And when the theta value is equal to 180 degrees, theta equal to 180, what happens? When theta is 180, it will become 2h by m naught c. When this is cos 180, that will be minus 1. Minus 1 into minus, that is plus 1. So 1 plus 1 gives 2, that is 2h by m naught c. So delta lambda for this is 2h by m naught c, which is double, twice than the second condition, that is 90, theta equal 90. So its value will become 0.04852 angstrom, which is very important here. These three conditions for the Compton shift, which denotes the Compton effect. When a higher frequency or lower wavelength X-rays strikes any of the substance which has lesser number of atoms, then after striking that substance, the photon will get scattered, and from that atom the electron will be free, and it recoils from that substance, so that there is a elastic scattering, so that you have chosen two conservation laws. One is conservation of momentum and another one is conservation of energy. By using those two conservation laws, you have derived the Compton shift, which is delta lambda equal to this one. right? Next, let's see some problems related to this Compton effect. Very interesting. I think you are understanding well in these concepts. So here, see the first problem based on the Compton effect. In Compton scattering, the incident photons have wavelength have wavelength 3 into 10 power minus 10 meters. Then calculate the wavelength of scattered radiation if they are viewed at an angle at an angle 60 degrees to the direction of incidence. చూడడానికి లెంతీగా అనిపించినా కూడా he is given the incident photon wavelength, that is lambda, which is 3 into 10 power minus 10. ఇప్పుడు ఏం అడుగుతుండు, lambda dash కనుక్కోమంటాడు, and it is viewed at an angle 60 degrees. Very simple. We know that delta lambda equal to lambda dash minus lambda, which is equal to here 60 degrees is given. Use that second formula, which is 2h by m naught c sin square theta by 2. నువ్వు ఏ ఫార్ములా యూజ్ చేసినా సేమ్ వస్తుంది, అలా ఏం లేదు. సో హియర్ lambda dash should be find out, which is equal to lambda. What is lambda? 3 into 10 power minus 10 plus 2 into 6.625 into 10 power minus 34 by, what is m naught? 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kg, and which is c equal to 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. And sin square theta by 2 means theta by 2 is 60 by 2 is 30, so sin square 30, that is sin 30 square అన్నట్టు. sin square 30 అంటే నువ్వు దాన్ని మళ్ళీ ఏం చేస్తావు, సో ఈ క్యాల్కులేషన్లో ఇక్కడ ఇది యాజిటీస్గా ఇలాగే ఉంచండి, 3 into 10 power minus 10. సో ఇదంతా సింప్లిఫికేషన్ చేస్తావు. sin square 30 అంటే what is sin 30? It is 1 by 2. So sin square 30 will be 1 by 4. So you will get the final answer as 3.012. ఇక్కడ ఏమొస్తుంది అంటే ఈ క్యాల్కులేషన్ అంతా కూడా 0.012. అంటే మొత్తం ఈ 1/4 కూడా సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేసిన తర్వాత you will get 0.012 into 10 power minus 10. సో ఈ రెండిటికి 10 power minus 10 10 power minus 10 కామన్ గా ఉంది. సో you will get finally the value as lambda dash equal to 3.012 into 10 power minus 10 meters. So which is the wavelength of the scattered photon. Scattered radiation యొక్క wavelength ఇదన్నమాట 3.012 into 10 power minus 10 meters. సో ఈ క్యాల్కులేషన్ మల్టిప్లికేషన్ ఇదంతా కూడా ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తే వస్తుంది. ఆల్రెడీ I have done that, so that without wasting of time of calculation I am giving the continuation values in the preceding steps. Now see the next one. In a Compton experiment, the wavelength of X-ray radiation, see it is also similar problem. In a Compton experiment, the wavelength of X-ray radiation scattered at an angle at an angle 45 degrees is 45 degrees is, so ఇక్కడ వేవ్ లెంత్ ఎంత 0.022 angstroms. Calculate the wavelength of incident radiation. Calculate the wavelength of incident radiation. Calculate the wavelength of incident radiation. సో ఇక్కడ ఇంతకు ముందు ప్రీవియస్ ప్రాబ్లంలోనేమో ఇన్సిడెంట్ రేడియేషన్ వేవ్ లెంత్ ఇచ్చిండు, స్కాటర్డ్ వేవ్ లెంత్ కనుక్కోమన్నాడు. స్కాటర్డ్ రేడియేషన్ నౌ ఇట్ ఈస్ వెరీ ఈజీ. So see here, so lambda dash ఇచ్చిండు, theta value 45 degrees అన్నాడు. What is the formula? Lambda dash minus lambda equal to h by m naught c into 1 minus cos theta. So substitute that lambda dash value. So you need lambda value, so write this value into this type and write this lambda into other side. So you will get lambda as lambda dash minus h by m naught c into 1 minus cos theta. Okay, now what is lambda dash? It is 0.022 into 10 power minus 10 minus h by h is 6.625 into ఇక్కడ ఇదంతా క్యాల్కులేషన్ చేస్తే ఏమొస్తుంది? h by m naught value, m naught c value is 0.02426 into what is 1 minus cos theta? 1 minus cos 45. What is cos 45? substitute that cos 45 as 0.7071 because it is 1 by root 2, 0.7071. So finally you will get the value as this is 0.22 into 10 power minus 10 and this will become 0.007 into 10 power minus 10. Here this is angstrom into 10 power minus 10. So adantha kuda calculation lo vastadi. So you will get finally the incident photon wavelength is 0. After subtracting this value you will get 0.015 angstroms. So this is incident wavelength. In the previous problem you have understood the scattered wavelength of radiation. So now let's see a different type of problem. There are many number of problems, so I am choosing only some related problems to the topic which have been studied in the previous video. Let's discuss the problem. A photon of energy a photon of energy 1.02 MeV is scattered through 90 degrees by a free electron calculate the energy of photon and electron after interaction. Chala gammattaina problem idi. Calculate the energy of photon and recoil electron after interaction. సో ఇప్పుడు మరి డిఫరెంట్గా ఉంది ప్రాబ్లం చూడండి. ఫోటాన్ ఆఫ్ ఎనర్జీ ఫస్ట్ ఇన్సిడెంట్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు దాని ఎనర్జీ ఇది అనమాట అండ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ స్కాటర్డ్ త్రూ 90 degrees ఆఫ్టర్ incident on the substance which has less number of atoms and by that free electron it scattered by 90 degrees. అది 90 degrees యాంగిల్ తోని స్కాటర్ అయిపోయింది. అంటే సేమ్ ఇప్పుడు ఈ ఫోటాన్ ఇట్లా వచ్చి ఇక్కడ స్ట్రైకింగ్ అయ్యి ఏమవుతుంది ఇట్లా పోతుంది అండ్ దిస్ ఈజ్ రికాయిల్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్. సో యాంగిల్ బిట్వీన్ దీస్ టూ ఈజ్ 90 degrees. అందుకే మీరు ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్లో ఉన్నప్పుడు యూ హ్యావ్ స్టడీడ్ దట్ దిస్ ఈస్ θ1 అండ్ దిస్ ఈస్ θ2. We have shown that θ1 plus θ2 which is equal to 90 degrees. That means after collision they will move perpendicular to each other. Okay, that is another thing. So photon of energy first initial energy అనేది ఉంది 90 degrees ఉంది. సో ఇప్పుడు మనకు కావాల్సింది ఏంటంటే కాంప్టన్ షిఫ్ట్ కనుక్కుంటే ఇక్కడ చేంజ్ ఇన్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ కనుక్కోవచ్చు, దెన్ చేంజ్ ఇన్ ఎనర్జీ ఆఫ్ ఫోటాన్. లెట్స్ సి చేంజ్ ఇన్ వేవ్ లెంత్ ఆఫ్ ఫోటాన్. ఫస్ట్ ఈ సొల్యూషన్లో కొంచెం డిఫరెంట్గా ఉంటుంది. ఏం చేద్దాం, ఫస్ట్ డెల్టా లాంబ్డా కనుక్కుంటాం, ఎందుకంటే నీకు చేంజ్ ఇన్ ఎనర్జీ డెల్టా E అనే వాల్యూ కావాలి. యాజ్ వి నో E ఈక్వల్ టు హెచ్ న్యూ and delta E equal to H delta nu, right? This becomes Hc by delta lambda. So నీకు delta lambda తెలిసిందనుకో, అప్పుడు నువ్వు delta E find out చేయొచ్చు. So what is delta lambda? As we know, it is H by So as this 1 minus cos 90 is H by m naught C into 1 minus cos theta. So theta is 90 degrees. So let's write it as it is H equal to m naught C, and which is given 0.02426 angstroms. So this is delta lambda. నీకు ఏం కావాలి? డెల్టా E కావాలి. So delta E is find out with the help of that delta E equal to H into C by delta lambda. Right? Why here we used this C by delta lambda? Because in place of delta nu, which is change in frequency, we used this C by delta lambda, change in wavelength. So now substitute the values. 6.625 into 10 power minus 34 into 3 into 10 power 8 by delta lambda is 0.02426 into 10 power minus 10. So what will be its value? It is 0.51. So after calculation you will get its value as 0.51 mega electron volts. మెగా అంటే ఇక్కడ ఇంటూ 10 పవర్ 6 వచ్చింది కాబట్టి దాన్ని మెగా ఎలక్ట్రాన్ వోల్ట్స్ గా we can write that. So this is change in energy. ఎంత చేంజ్ అయింది అనేది ఇక్కడ ఉంది అని అంటే it is the kinetic energy which is transferred to the free electron. So this is for the energy which is transferred for the free electron, and then the energy of photon is the total energy of this photon is while incident, that energy is 1.02 MeV, and some of its energy, a part of its energy is given to the electron so that it has recoiled, and another part of the remaining part of the energy is traveled with the photon. That photon energy ఏమైతుంది మరి? You can write photon energy. Actually the total energy is 1.02 and a part of its energy is given to the free electron, and the remaining energy is the remaining energy of the photon after interaction. So photon energy after interaction is 0.51 MeV. So equally the energy is distributed to photon and the recoil electron. So this is about the one kind of problem. So చాలా గమ్మత్తైన ప్రాబ్లం. నీకు ఇచ్చింది ఏంటంటే ఫోటాన్ ఎనర్జీ ఇచ్చారు, అంటే ఇన్సిడెంట్ ఎనర్జీ తెలుసు and scattered photon angle telsu, so that you have studied the calculated the delta lambda, and after delta lambda you calculated the delta E value. Then a part of its energy is transferred to free electron and remaining part is kept with the photon which is scattered in the scattering process. Now let's do one more problem, which is an interesting and different problem comparing to these previous problems. Previous problems తో పోల్చుకుంటే అది కొంచెం డిఫరెంట్గా ఉంటుంది. చూద్దాం. An X-ray photon collides with an electron at rest. It is scattered through 90 degrees. Then what is its frequency? చూడండి, ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ టర్మ్స్ లో అడుగుతుండగా ప్రాబ్లము. its frequency after collision if its initial frequency is 3 into 10 power 19 hertz. ఫస్ట్ చూడగానే ఏం అర్థం కాదు. అగైన్ రీడ్ ద ప్రాబ్లం. An X-ray photon collides with an electron at rest and it is scattered through 90 degrees. Then what is its frequency after collision? ఏం అనుకోవాలి నువ్వు? ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ ఆఫ్టర్ కొలిజన్ అంటే న్యూ డాష్ అనుకోవాలి. న్యూ అండ్ న్యూ డాష్ టర్మ్స్లలో ఇది కొత్తగా వస్తుంది. అంటే మనకు తెలియాల్సింది ఏంది? హౌ దిస్ చేంజ్ ఇన్ వేవ్ లెంత్ డెల్టా లాంబ్డా ఈక్వల్ లాంబ్డా డాష్ మైనస్ లాంబ్డా హ్యాస్ కన్వర్టెడ్ టు దిస్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ టర్మ్స్. దెన్ యూ విల్ ఈజీలీ ఫైండ్ ద scattered frequency. Okay, what is its frequency after collision? So you will get the frequency after collision. So first try to find the value delta lambda in terms of and convert it in frequency terms. So first delta lambda equal to lambda dash minus lambda, which is equal to h by m naught c into 1 minus cos theta. So it will become h by m naught c. ఎందుకంటే cos theta లో theta 90 substitute చేసినావు కాబట్టి it will become as cos 90 is 0, so it is 1. So h by m naught c as it is. Now this value, after substituting the values, h value, m naught, c value substitute same వస్తుంది 0.02426 angstroms కదా. h by m naught c 0.02426 angstroms. ఇప్పుడు ఈ లాంబ్డా డాష్ అంటే ఏమని రాయొచ్చు? వాట్ ఈస్ లాంబ్డా డాష్? యాజ్ వి నో c equal to nu lambda. This is the fundamental formula, c equal to nu lambda. In this, lambda is written as c by nu. So write this one, c by nu dash minus c by nu equal to 0.02426 into 10 power minus 10 meters. And to get the value as 1 by nu dash minus 1 by nu, the c is taken common and it is divided with this right side value 0.02426 into 10 power minus 10 by c value is 3 into 10 power 8. Right? So you will get a value and you know ఇక్కడ మనకు కావాల్సింది వచ్చేస్తుంది. ఇంకా ఇప్పుడు న్యూ డాష్ కావాలి నీకు. న్యూ అనేది ఇచ్చారు 3 into 10 power 19. సో సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ దోస్ వాల్యూస్. రైట్ 1 by nu dash equal to 1 by nu plus 0.08 into 10 power minus 18. And what is 1 by nu? That is 1 by 3 into 10 power 19 plus 0.08 by 10 power 18. Write it as 10 power 18 in the denominator. Then the result value will be to get its value as 10 power 19. దీన్ని 10 power 19 చేయాలంటే ఏం చేయాలి? పైన కింద 10 తోని మల్టిప్లై చేయాలి. అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది? దిస్ విల్ బికమ్ 0.008 by 10 power 19. So take the 10 power 19 common and its value is 1 by 3 plus 0.008. Sorry, first one is 0.008 and the next one becomes, ఎందుకంటే ఇంటూ 10 చేసినప్పుడు కింది డాట్ ఏదైతే ఉందో డెసిమల్ వాల్యూ ఇట్ విల్ గోస్ డిక్రీస్ అండ్ 0.08. ఎందుకంటే 10ని నువ్వు మల్టిప్లై చేస్తున్నావు, ఇంకో 10ని డివైడ్ చేస్తున్నావు. ఇట్ విల్ బికమ్ లైక్ దిస్ అండ్ దిస్ ఈజ్ like this and you will get the value as 1.24. That is 1 by 10 power 19 into this is 0.24 and 1 plus 0.24, that is 1.24 by 3. So after simplification, now write this is 1 by nu dash. నీకు న్యూ డాష్ కావాలిగా. సో రైట్ దిస్ యాజ్ 3 into 10 power 19 by 1.24, reciprocal of this value. So after simplification you will get, ఇప్పుడు ఇది ఏమవుతుంది? 2.419 into 10 power 19 hertz. So this is the different types of problems related to Compton effect. This is also one of the major concept in the modern physics. So here, by knowing the Compton effect, some important factors should be known. One is, this Compton effect provides the evidence of particle nature of electromagnetic radiation. జనరల్గా ఎలక్ట్రోమాగ్నెటిక్ రేడియేషన్ అంటే పార్టికల్ నేచర్ అండ్ వేవ్ నేచర్ రెండు ఉంటాయి. When wave associated with a particle is called the matter wave. The matter waves are having dual nature. So in this context, this Compton effect and photoelectric effect provides an evidence of the particle nature of the electromagnetic radiation, and this verifies the Planck's quantum hypothesis, and also this provides the verification of relativistic mass m equal to m naught by root of 1 minus v square by c square and energy E equal to mc square. So thank you so much for watching this video. We will look after in the coming classes. We will look different atomic models and different things in the easy manner. I hope you understanding these classes. Use and utilize these classes. Please forward to your friends and watch thoroughly complete videos so that you will get a complete understanding. Thank you so much for watching this video.